Well, there's a lot of things that I suppose that I worry about, but some of these things will seem esoteric to people. The birth rate is very low in almost every country. And something, unless that changes, civilization will disappear.
So while you're worried about making rent and paying your bills and surviving as a working class member of society, what keeps Elon Musk up at night is how to get you pregnant.
America had the lowest birth rate, I believe, ever. That was last year.
Of course, the irony here is that a declining birth rate is a consequence of capitalism, and Elon Musk is the world's wealthiest capitalist. If Elon Musk cares so much about the declining birth rate in the United States, perhaps he could divest his enormous fortune, which he stole from the working class, so that they might be able to survive and have enough money to afford raising a family.
Places like Korea, the birth rate is 1/3 replacement rate. So that means in 3 generations, Korea will be 3 or 4% of its current size. And nothing seems to be turning that around. Humanity is dying.
He claims he wants to save humanity, but he's noticeably silent about the people that are being murdered by the hundreds of thousands in Gaza, the actual victims of a genocide that's happening right now. When is he going to save humanity? In between photo ops with his favorite prime minister? Or what about the 20 million people that are victims of global capitalism that are bombed and starved every year because it's not profitable to save them? They're noticeably absent in Elon Musk's conception of saving humanity. No, his conception of saving humanity is bringing more misery and death into the world by having more people, more poor people should be brought into the world for his benefit. Elon Musk sure has a narrow view of humanity, come to think of it.
It's just not something we evolved to react to.
Notice that he doesn't offer a solution to this problem because he himself is the cause of the problem. He and his class, I mean. Why would he go so far as to incriminate himself by offering a solution to the problem when he himself is the problem?
I worry generally about the strength of America. America is the central column that holds up.
I wonder if he's going to say Western civilization here. It looks like he's really trying hard to search his brain to use another phrase that would suffice, but he cannot avoid using the term
Western civilization.
That overblown cliche, Western civilization, which has become a euphemism for bombing and starving every hemisphere of Earth for the enrichment of Western Europe and the United States. In fact, the phrase Western civilization more closely refers to the historical process by which Western Europe and the United States have debt-trapped and colonized in the context of imperial capitalism for the past 400 years every hemisphere on Earth to the enrichment and flourishing of Western civilization.
The temple of Western civilization.
Western civilization just means holding the world at gunpoint, to turn the world into a corporate plantation for American capital accumulation.
America is the central column. If that column fails, it's all over. You can't run off to New Zealand or some other place. It's over.
Yes, the central column that holds up the dominance of Western imperial neoliberal capitalism is the United States. Also, side note, you can't claim to care about the population of Korea and also claim that you are concerned with the strength of America. The two are diametrically opposed. The United States is the world's biggest aggressor in that region, and certainly the worst perpetrator of war crimes against the Korean state, both South Korea and North Korea. For example, in 1953, the United States murdered 1.5 million people. That's 20% of Korean population in the 1950s. No person can be separated or divorced from the class which they belong to. Every belief, idea, concept, value, worry, fear that person claims originates from the class which they belong to. It originates from class society. Elon Musk is a capitalist and a member of the ruling class. Therefore, his ideas, beliefs, values, principles, worldview promotes and preserves his class ideology. So when a person such as this utters phrases like Western civilization or the strength of America, or he's concerned about the declining birth rate, or he's concerned about freedom and democracy, we have to decode what that actually means, because what he's actually saying is a promotion of his class interests. And what he's actually promoting is directly antithetical to our livelihood. When Elon Musk uses the word humanity or talks about the loss of humanity, what he's actually referring to is profits. A capitalist knows no humanity. He fears the loss of profits. He fears the loss of his class dominance. When he says the phrase strength of America, he's referring to the strength of a capitalist class of investors, bankers, executives, and managers who dominate social and political life. What does he care about a declining birth rate? Well, less people that are born mean less people that enter the workforce, and that means less people for the capitalists to exploit. Notice that none of Elon Musk's solutions for the problems that he's talking about in the world involve him losing money, even though he could quite literally solve a lot of the world's problems simply by divesting. That would not make good capitalist common sense, and it would be antithetical to Elon Musk's class dominance and the preservation of his class dominance. The only solutions that a capitalist is capable of coming up with are ones that involve his enrichment. Because solving the world's problems would entail and require operating a completely different set of values and principles, a capitalist must necessarily co-opt these phrases: freedom, democracy, humanity, Western civilization, the strength of America, in order to hide his real motives, which is capital accumulation, self-enrichment, class preservation. What does Elon Musk know about solving humanity? It's like asking a wolf to solve the sheep-eating epidemic.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Gave the orders to do drone strikes.